Welcome back. Today I'm going to talk about the creepiest walk home I have ever had. Maybe the creepiest 5 minutes I've ever had. But this was all walking home from the bus stop after a 12-hour shift at work, waiting tables on my foot the entire time. So I was coming home, and as I'm walking past, there's this car that's like crossing the intersection that I'm about to cross. And I see that he is masturbating in his car. And he's just like tossing it back and forth and back and forth. And it was just absolutely disgusting, obviously. So I walk around him, I keep walking, and at the next intersection, the same guy in the same car is doing the same thing. Like, it was clear that he was, like, going around in circles, or, like, doing a U-turn and a three-point turn and a U-turn, but the only thing I wish I did different in that situation is I wish I, like, made eye contact and then, like, because, like, wasn't impressive. But anyway, so I keep walking, and then this guy on a bike, like, as he's passing by, he gives me a compliment. I don't remember what he said, but I was like, okay, thank you. And then, I keep walking. He comes around and stops his bike, like, sideways. So he's blocking off the entire sidewalk at this point. And he's like, it would mean the world to me if, I could take you out, like, if we could hang out tonight. And I'm just like, no. And, he doesn't actually stop me from passing, like, at least not on purpose, but, like, it's very difficult to, like, get around him, because it's, like, a busy street. So, just, like, 10 steps past this, I noticed that there's this guy walking kind of close behind me. And I'm like, whatever, I don't know if he's following me, I don't know if he's not, but I'm almost at my door. So at this point I had pulled out my keys, and I started walking, like, instead of crossing directly over, like, the door was here, so I started walking a little bit diagonally towards the door. And the guy from behind me, like, speeds up, rushes past me, and gets to the door before me. And, like, I'm still on the sidewalk at this point, and this building has, like, 9 different doors. So I just keep walking down, like, I just, like, kind of veer off and keep walking. And then I notice that he leaves from the door and comes back up right behind me. And I do not live in the best neighborhood, if it's not obvious from the rest of the story so far. But I am always quite prepared when I'm walking around. I mean, no matter where I'm walking, I always have at least a knife in one pocket. But in my neighborhood, I always have mace in one side and my knife in the other. So this guy's, he's walking really close behind me, and 9 times out of 10, if I was walking around on a normal day and it wasn't after a 12-hour shift and I wasn't exhausted as fuck, I would have turned around, held up the mace, had my knife in the other hand, and I would have been like, hey, you're gonna take 20 steps back right the fuck now, or you're gonna get cut up and maced. And he, I did not do that. And that's the thing, I was just like, I do not have the energy for this, I am not doing this right now. So I kept walking past my building, and he's still following me at this point. So I go into the gas station, which is across from where I live. And he goes and he waits at the bus stop that's right outside of that gas station. And like, it's obvious that he was following me. Like, that is not where he was going. He's like definitely trying to get into where I live. So I go in and I'm just like, I guess I'm just gonna wait here for a few minutes and then hopefully he'll be gone and then I'll cross the street and go back. But while I was in the gas station, I see my sister-in-law and their like boyfriend, long-term boyfriend. And I'm just like, hey, there's this creep following me, like, can you help me out? Like, just walk me to my door. That's all I want. He's not gonna come up if there's 3 people. And they're like, yeah, of course. You know, like, I mean, who wouldn't? Like, I feel like I could have asked a stranger in there and they would have been fine. But anyway, so we go back and the creep, you know, obviously he doesn't try anything at this point. And that's it. Creepiest walk home I've ever had.